I do feel like this list is made up of things that I do really want to spend my money on, but know it's not worth it at the moment. Top of the want list, but at the bottom of the needs list. So it's on the no buy list. In this video, I thought I would go over some of the things that I won't be spending money on for the rest of the year. So I actually did one of these videos a couple of months ago at the beginning of summer, end of spring, and I feel like it served me well for the summer months, but now I kind of want to reevaluate what's going on in my life, the seasons as they change from summer to fall, and kind of just how it all comes together for my spending plan, and like the things that I feel like are worth it right now, the things that I feel like are not worth it right now, kind of evaluate what I did spend on in the summer and the things that I regret, or maybe the things that I can do without for the rest of the year. So I put together a list, and these are the things that I will not be spending money on for the rest of 2026. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I will not be spending money on for the rest of the year is clothing. I believe this was on my no spend list for earlier in the summer, but I did end up buying 3 new tops. 2 of them were thrifted, and this one that I'm wearing was from this store in Canada called Giant Tiger, which I think is kind of similar to Five Below maybe in the US. Anyways, this shirt was like $5, and I thought it was very cute and summery. But my point is that I bought like 3 new garments, and then I also was gifted products from Quince, so I definitely feel like I'm good for clothing at the moment. The next one is manicures and pedicures. So I really wanted to get a pedicure this summer. I almost did, and then I was laid off, and I decided not to spend money on something like that. I do feel like this list is made up of things that I do really want to spend my money on, but know it's not worth it at the moment. And unfortunately, a manicure and a pedicure is like top of the want list, but at the bottom of the needs list. So it's on the no buy list. The next one is junk food. So I am very good at living on a low monthly budget for groceries, but I will be honest, like both salty and sweet junk food is such a, I don't know, I'm just like a monster sometimes when it comes to snacks. And I feel like sometimes I would buy like a big chocolate bar and just eat it super quickly, or like buy like a regular family size bag of like potato chips and eat that over the course of like 2 days maximum. And that kind of food is like, it's not exactly budget friendly, and it's definitely not good for you. So now that I'm going to the gym more and really focusing on protein and fiber, I want to try and completely cut out any junk food that I'm buying, not just for my budget, but also for my overall health and goals. The next one is candles. I love candles. I'm such a candle girly. I used to buy the most expensive diptych candles, which are, if you don't know about them, it's like a French brand that is basically synonymous with luxury candles anyways, but the candles cost like $100+ basically. So obviously I stopped buying those a long time ago, and I started buying Bath & Body Works candles instead, which are a lot more economical, but I feel like I'm guilty of buying like many different scents at the same time. And then I end up having a backlog of candles that I never actually get through. So even though fall is coming and it would be great to buy some new like warm and cozy scents, I think I'll make it my goal to burn through the candles that I have now and either replace them when I finish them, or just kind of like, you know, go without candles for the rest of the year. The next one is tea. I feel like fall, like the end of summer, beginning of fall, is when all of the tea brands come out with their fun autumnal flavors, and it can be really tempting to buy them as somebody who loves tea and also loves fall. But I'm going to put in place a no buy for tea. I still have so many different like green teas and herbal teas from when I was trying to switch from afternoon coffee to tea. So I will work through those. And yeah, I feel like I don't need like pumpkin spice flavored tea this year. I think I'm fine. So the next one is books. Books, I think, was also on my no-buy, my original no-buy that I did in the spring. I think I did pretty well. I ended up buying a used Elizabeth Gilbert book, one book that was recommended to me by somebody that I wanted to impress, so I read it. Stupid. And a dictionary, a French dictionary as well. And then I ended up getting a library card this week, so that's super exciting. So I won't have to buy books at all. I'll be able to get them from the library. I did, if you've watched my other videos, then you probably know I was struggling to find which libraries in Montreal are actually free, but I ended up finding one, so that's great. There is one exception though. There's this one book that I really want to read. My friend in French class recommended it to me. It's called French Lessons, and it's a memoir by an American professor. Her name is Alice Kaplan, and it's basically her life pursuit of studying and becoming fluent in French and also becoming a French professor. And I'm not exactly sure how the book, like how it works as autobiography, because apparently it also goes into explanations, like almost philosophical explanations of certain French grammar tenses. So at this point in my life, that's something that I find really interesting. But unfortunately, it's not available at the library. I haven't seen it at any bookstores either. I've only seen it on Amazon, which is annoying. I am going to see if the library can order it for me, but if not, that's like my one exception for no book buying of the rest of 2026. I'm just gonna get a coffee, one sec. Okay, the next one is cozy home stuff, and specifically a weighted blanket. I feel like the changing of seasons makes me sometimes into like a little consumerist gremlin. Like I really fall very easily for seasonal decor, and especially fall seasonal decor, because there's something about the idea of making your home as cozy as possible that is very appealing to me. So I don't know, things like throw blankets or specifically weighted blankets. I want one of those so bad, but they're so expensive and I don't think I need one. But even like cozy pajamas or like loungewear, I feel like 'tis the season for buying that stuff, and I have everything I need to be cozy at home. So everything, it sounds so sad, but everything cozy related is off the table this season. I don't need anything. I just need to save my money and get out of debt. So we're gonna make do with the cozy stuff that we already have, which is a lot to me anyway. Sometimes when I reflect on these lists, I realize that I'm really not exempt from consumerist culture. Like I do feel like I try not to get duped by anything, and I'm aware of my consumerist tendencies, but sometimes I kind of feel like I surprise myself. Like I think I'm beyond something, and then I realize I kind of want something that I probably shouldn't. Like for example, the next item on the list is a water bottle. I know. I just want a water bottle, okay? I have my really big one that I drink at home and bring to the gym, but it leaks. Like if I put it in my backpack, even if it like stays upright, somehow it still leaks, so I can only use it when I'm at home or at the gym in my building. And then for French class, I bring a glass Perrier bottle that I just keep reusing, but it's probably like 300 milliliters. It doesn't hold a lot of water. So I would just really love to have like a high quality water bottle that I can put into my backpack and know it's not going to leak. Like even if my backpack falls over or whatever it is, I would love that. But the thing is that the Perrier bottle was free. It's glass, so as long as I wash it, it doesn't like have microplastic in it. And it doesn't leak either, and it was free. So I'm like, even though I want a water bottle, like I don't even know what the trendy ones are right now. I don't even really care. I just want something that like truly I can like put it upside down and it won't leak. But the thing is, the Perrier bottle does that, so I don't need to spend $40 to $60 right now on a water bottle. I just don't. I know that I want to, but I don't need to. So yeah. The next one is new boots. So I have kind of a weird collection of boots, if I'm being honest. I have a pair of like little leather boots that I bought in Istanbul, and they were perfect for Turkish winter, like winter in Istanbul, I mean, because it doesn't get that cold and there's not a lot of snow, so they worked fine. Now I feel like those will be my fall boots for Montreal. And then when I came back from Istanbul last winter, I like really quickly bought this pair of heavy duty snow boots that almost look like children's snow boots from Walmart, because I was on a budget and I just needed something, like there was 2 feet of snow on the ground, so I bought those. They're really ugly. They're like very utilitarian, and I kind of feel like living in Montreal, it's kind of a stylish city, I would say, so having a pair of like basically children's winter boots from Walmart is not the most sophisticated thing to be like walking around in. I would love to have a pair of like little Ugg boots or something, but I just have to keep in mind that these boots work perfectly fine, and they're gonna be the boots that I'm wearing for winter. Like, I'm not buying new boots, I'm not buying new fall boots. I have all of the boots that I need, and yeah. The next one is new tech, so basically all tech categories. I already bought a new iPhone and a new MacBook at the beginning of this year because I needed to. Both my phone and my laptop prior to upgrading were over 10 years old and were literally not working anymore. So that's all set for hopefully the next 10 years. We'll see. I'm knocking on wood. I'd love to have a new pair of headphones for going to the gym. I have like the classic wired Apple earbuds, which are great for going out and whatever. They're not the most convenient for going to the gym because like if I'm lifting a weight and the wires getting in the way, it's just like doesn't really work. Then I have a pair of wireless like over ear headphones that I've had for quite some time. I forget the brand. They're Sony something, I'm not sure, but they've like expanded. I've had them for probably 3 years, and now they just like don't fit on my head very well. Like, they're too big, so when I'm at the gym they kind of like fall off unless I tie my hair a certain way. But I just feel like headphones are so expensive that I don't want to buy them. Like, I don't want to listen to music while I'm working out enough to splurge on headphones right now. And I also feel like they never last that long. Like, I would obviously love to have a pair of those like Apple, I forget what they're called, like Air Max or whatever, the like over ear ones that are kind of cool looking. But no shade to Apple, I just feel like their products are not that reliable. Like, especially if you're using something heavily every day, it's like the technology kind of gets old quickly from like my very layman's point of view, or it just stops working properly quickly. And those headphones are like over $500, I'm pretty sure. Like, just not worth the risk. Or even like if they last for 2 years, that's still like $250 plus per year for headphones, which to me just seems like, I don't know, not worth it. So no headphones, no tech. At the end of the video, which is right now, which I'll probably yap for another 5 minutes, but I wanted to talk about some of the things that I am splurging on. So I think the point of videos like this is really to encourage you to reflect on what you've been purchasing and maybe like trying to distinguish the difference between wants and needs, or like priorities, high priority and low priority items. So for me, some of the higher priority items that I weren't purchasing before that I would like to give myself the budget for the rest of the year is 1, perfume. So I have talked about perfume a little bit in my channel before. There's only one that I use. It was from a Belgian brand that was available at Sephora, and I just finished it, and sadly it's not available at Sephora anymore. So I think I'm going to give myself like a $50 budget to go to Sephora and buy like a travel size perfume, because I like smelling good. If I'm being honest, I like smelling good. I like having like a perfume sent to me. I'm also dating, and I would like to leave a good first impression for scent wise. I mean, it's not like I smell bad without perfume. It's just like, you know, like you can smell like soap, or you can smell like a like musky forest, and I kind of like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from that now. But I like wearing perfume, okay? And I ran out, so I'd like to buy another one. Another thing that I'm splurging on is adding more protein to my diet, which brings my grocery budget a little bit higher than it was. But not that much higher, to be honest. I've been eating a higher protein and higher fiber diet for a couple of weeks, and it's not, I would say it's maybe like $10 extra a week, which is not make or break for me at this moment. So yeah, adding protein, I genuinely feel like I've noticed a difference in my performance at the gym, and it's been great. So I do think that's a splurge that is worth it. And then along the same line, I'm thinking of putting together a video of like how I'm battling frugal fatigue. So basically a lot of the things that I'm splurging on are just things that I like didn't allow myself for so long, and they're not actually that expensive. So making that tiny bit of extra room in my budget is something that's really helped me kind of like push forward and not go off the deep end when it comes to spending. So like, for example, the next thing on the list is certain wellness related treats. So if you've watched my other videos, you might have heard about my green juice awakening. Basically, I like splurged on a green juice, and then it made me miss my more spendy era. But now I allow myself to have a green juice like a couple of times a month. Same with other wellness products. Like I bought nutritional yeast, which was really exciting, which sounds sad, but it was great to have that back in the rotation. Textured soy protein also is something that I'm going to buy. And then I'm thinking of buying creatine also, like the supplement that a lot of people take when they're going to the gym. It's not that expensive, but it would have to be an additional line in my budget. The next thing that I'm splurging on is coffee out and drinks out. So not going wild, but maybe like once. Lately I've been doing like once to twice a week going out for coffee, which is, you know, it's not nothing. It definitely costs money to do that, but I do feel like it's been worth it, getting out of the house and just enjoying like being part of the world in a way. So yeah. And then the last one, I'm still kind of mulling it over, but I'd like to explore budget travel. It's not like I've never budget traveled before. I used to all the time, but I really just like cut any kind of discretionary spending for a while. But I'd really love to plan a budget-friendly trip for sometime in 2026, maybe for my birthday. We will see. Traveling in Canada is kind of expensive compared to traveling from Istanbul, and the options are obviously less, but I don't know. I'm getting like the travel like bug, the travel urge. I used to travel literally every 2 weeks for work, and in the past year I've taken one international trip, and that was when I was living in Istanbul and I went to North Macedonia. The whole trip cost me like less than $300 for a 4-day weekend, and that was in, you know what, actually that was over a year ago. That was in July of 2025. We're now in August 2026, so yeah, I haven't taken an international trip in over a year, and I really miss it, honestly. Like, going from being somebody that traveled every 2 weeks to somebody who is not even taking an annual like international holiday is kind of wild. I do feel like I needed that kind of break for stability, and also to kind of appreciate traveling again and not seeing it as mundane. But I definitely am at the point now where I'm like, I'd love to just book the cheapest like cruise or all-inclusive vacation. I don't even care like where it is. It doesn't have to be like a Mediterranean trip. I just want to get on a plane and go somewhere. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that is everything that I'm not buying for the rest of 2026 and the things that I'm kind of waffling on buying. I hope it was interesting. I hope it encourages you to kind of reflect on your spending and see where you could cut and where you could add to kind of increase the quality of your day-to-day, especially if you're trying to live frugally. I think it's worth kind of noticing those blind spots and treating yourself when you can afford to and where it's appropriate. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!